Step 4, create lasting habits based on your values. And we're in video 2, which is create permanent habits around your schedule and your values. Mila Sweet, resources, reactions, difficult conversations, achieve more with less. How do you set permanent habits? It's repetition of a value-based schedule. So if your value is creativity and you only have it scheduled Mondays once a month, how likely are you going to keep that habit of that value? You need to integrate it into your life in different ways so that if you miss an opportunity on Monday, you have an opportunity maybe on Wednesday and on Friday. And maybe there's multiple ways that you can set it in. There's some personal creativity opportunities and there are family creativity opportunities. And maybe there's a review at the end of the month of what everyone created so that we are able to review if we're delivering on our habit and we're able to assess what's working and what's not working. So remember, it's a repetition of a value-based schedule. Rep-based, meaning each time you put in a rep, it makes you stronger and brings you closer to having the permanent habit, and it makes it automatic so that you can do it with least amount of resistance. I've been walking so much in the morning, like probably 7 years, 6 out of 7 days, I'm up an hour or 2 hours a day walking in the morning. Every week is different. So if you looked at the year, maybe not 52 weeks, I'm maybe at 48. In my book, that is pretty consistent and it's so automatic. Even if I don't get out the house right away in the morning like I plan to, the first break I get is a walk, or my lunch is a walk, or the next meeting I can take is a walk. Examples of permanent habits and examples of schedule lacking habits. So a schedule lacking habits, let's do that first. You just wake up and go. I do believe there are certain seasons in your life where that autonomy or flexibility is there, but the more kids you have, the more responsibilities you have, the less likely you are to do that. And even if you have one child and you allow them a lot of say in what is done and they can just have their way, it's probably just not wake up and go. It's wake up and do what they tell you. If that works for you, absolutely. But if you're looking to create some values, you're probably going to have to take some of that time and isolate it to say, this is what we're doing during this time, right? Another example of a schedule lacking values is where you're not deciding what you're going to do for the week. You're not sticking to it. You're not even thinking about it. You say you want to do one thing and you ended up doing another. You say that being curious is really important to you and you're not trying anything new the whole year. What are you curious about? There's no new book. There's no new show. You're not wearing anything new. You're not introducing any new curriculum. You're not shaking it up on Fridays. You're not trying anything new. There's nothing to be curious about. Everything is the same. You either should reevaluate your value or really work on what that really means in your home. So what is examples of permanent habits? Let's take trust. You're building trust. First, if I wanted to build trust in my house, I am going to explain what trust is to myself. I'm going to explain ways I build trust. I'm going to explain ways I feel that there is trust to be exchanged with someone else. And then I will explain that to my children and ask them what it means for them to trust. If my children are younger, I will just mimic trust. Like, hey, jump into mommy's arms and I'm there. And then I'll say, you trust me. I trust you. I will build in some of the trust in the curriculum. Hey, we're going to do this first and then you can do your art. And I can say, you're building trust with mommy. You need to do this first and you can build that. Then I will probably look for something that is a little bit more fun and lifestyle for building trust. And once I figured out what we enjoy, what I enjoy, I will map it on my schedule and then evaluate it. Am I building trust with my children and my family on a daily basis? Are we building trust with our curriculum? Is it something that is giving them the opportunity to ask questions? Is it something that is giving them the opportunities to trust me as their teacher? Some curriculums regurgitate information and it doesn't give you any opportunities to ask questions. And if you do, it's like a shame or you're shunned or how dare you, like this is the way it is. Kids are curious. And so giving them an opportunity to ask questions, giving yourself an opportunity to learn something or even admit, hey, I don't have the answer for this, let me figure it out, is super important. So that's how I would put it into my schedule. And then maybe I would measure it monthly with some goals to say, I want to build trust with the curriculum month 1. Month 2, I want to build more trust as a parent to child relationship. I want to build trust in my marriage or with my partner. I want to build trust doing something outside of the curriculum so that it's fortified all over. And then each month we're working on on increasing that trust from it being in one category to multiple categories and having a consistency with it and planning it on the calendar to check in to say, are you trusting me more? Are you able to do that? Now, how does that look if you're looking at like a connection or a community? Tracking how much you're involved. What things do the kids want to get involved in? Can you volunteer together? Creating opportunities for that is how I would start to track that. So here are some notes. Habits are the result of thoughts based on values. Habits can happen on autopilot with enough reps. Habits guide us when we have hurdles. So you're able to automatically push towards getting over the hurdle when it's automatic. So even when I don't feel like walking in the morning, I'm so used to walking, I just get up and walk. Habits help us to regulate our emotions. I find good habits therapeutic, where I'm like, oh, this feels so good. And your kids will too. And connecting that to homeschooling, connecting that to learning is just such a great experience. So when they have challenges and hurdles, it really does help. Okay, so it's homework time, reflection time. Do your habits allow you to be consistent and to stick to your values, to connect with your kids or spouse, to your kids connecting with each other? So are your habits helping the kids to connect with one another? What do these habits look like 5 years from now? That is the test. 20 years from now. If your children are doing the same thing over and over, where does it get them? Is that where you want them to be? All right, that's it for this video. I look forward to hearing what you have to say about your habits and what you're working towards below. See you in the next video, or as scheduled tomorrow, right? All right, thanks so much.